I'm Danny Cole with Marshall Toyota. Looking for a good used car? Check out our great selection of Toyota certified used vehicles with financing as low as 2.9%. These vehicles carry a 160-point inspection to Toyota's strict conditions and standards, include a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty, 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, 1-year roadside assistance, Carfax history report, and price to fit any budget. New or used, we've got them every day at Marshall Toyota.
Well, we've got 12 minutes of football remaining here at Roughrider Stadium in Center, Texas. The Carthage Bulldogs leading the Center Roughriders 20-0, and the Bulldogs will be punting it away here, 4th down and long. 4th and about 17 to go for the first at their own 42-yard line. Gonzalez in to kick it away. Major Harris is our deep snapper and has done a good job this year. He's just a junior. He'll be back next year. Gonzalez ready to put it away. And here's a head-high snap. Gets off, pretty good kick. And they're going to come up, and they bobble it. They cannot fall on it. And let's see, we've got a chance to get it at the 28-yard line. And we do. The Bulldogs with the football at the center 28. Their receiver came up and on the run tried to come up with it. And that was an ill-advised decision on the run. He could not grab hold of it. It hit him, and we fall on it at the 28.
You know, you don't know how good you coach these kids. They're kids. And he was running towards that, knew he was behind. He was, giving it all he had. And then at the last minute, he thought he would just stop. And he did, and the ball bounced right to him and bounced off of him. And then there was nothing but defenders from Carthage there to get it.
All right, so the Bulldogs will start now at the center 28. Bogan shoots under center. Pipkin is the tailback. Twins to the right, one to the left. Here's Bogan shoots, 3-step drop, going to go to the right, and it is caught out there by Bowman. Bowman to the 20, inside the 20, close to the first down at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, he caught the ball and made a move and got away from the defender, and the defender tripped him up just enough where he couldn't get his feet out from under him, so he fell forward and bounced like Austin Miles did in the Cowboy game the other day.
All right, that is a first down. 17th of the game for the Bulldogs. It's at the center 17-yard line. Carthage leading 20-0. All right, Bogan shoots under center, hands off to Pipkin. Pipkin up the middle, 15, down to the close to the 10. And that's going to be a gain of 7 more for Tevin Pipkin, the sophomore.
Tevin just gets to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like every play he's going to break it. And then something odd happens, some shoestring grab, or he makes a wrong cut, or he's going to be a real good back before it's over with, because once he gets his vision down, when he gets into the open, he's going to be good.
It's a gain of 6 to the 11. It's 2nd and 4 for Carthage at the Roughrider 11. Bogan shoots, handoff Pipkin. Pipkin over the left side, inside the 5-yard line. Tough running by Tevin Pipkin down to the 3, a gain of 8, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, we're leading there with the fullback, and Classen, and he follows him right up behind him. And gets into the defensive backfield. That time made 5 or 6 yards after contact. And that's what you like to see in a running back.
Pipkin now with 119 yards, 22 carries. 1st and goal for Carthage at the center 3-yard line. Bogan shoots under center. Offset out of the right. Handoff goes to Pipkin. Pipkin right side. Pipkin toward the end zone. And no signal yet. Going to be short. Just short of the goal line.
Yeah, you got tripped up right there at the line of scrimmage. Fell forward. And you're right, Larry, the way you talk about him, he quietly gets the yardage. We've been used to the last 3 or 4 years of running back getting loose and running 75 yards. He gets his 125 quietly.
2nd and goal inside the 1. 2nd and goal inside the 1. Okay, I formation. Classen is the fullback behind Bogan shoots. Bogan shoots under center. Handoff Classen. Classen. Got to be close. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Classen with the touchdown for the Bulldogs, and it's now 26-0. Well, he seldom gets to carry the football, and he gets a touchdown there. That is Peyton Classen, 5'8", 175-pound junior.
Well, we're going to win this ball game, but it's not beautifully, because we've had a lot of mistakes tonight.
All right, Bulldogs in the swinging gate again. And we are, remember, in the 4th quarter, 9:50 to go. Gonzalez to attempt the extra point. High snap. and he guts it down, and the kick is good. Great job, Tasker Shannon, to get that high snap down, and Gonzalez converts. 27-0 Dogs. Back from center right after this break.
Just in Time Sanitation Services has just what you need for residential, construction, commercial, oil fill, and special events. From portable toilets to roll-off dumpsters, storage containers, holding tanks, and hand washing stations, Just in Time Sanitation can help. Dial 903-693-9991. Our commitment is to serve you. Serving all of East Texas and Western Louisiana, Just in Time Sanitation Service has what you need to keep it clean and functioning. 903-693-9991. It will be done just in time.
If you don't have an oil well, you need to get one. So Ricky and Casey Bagley at Bagley Well Services can help you take care of it. Bagley Well Services is a complete service. Hookups, pipelines, maintenance, backhoe, dozer, and pipe hauling. Bagley Well Service, one call does it all. 903-622-4122. So if you have an oil well, let Bagley Well Services do the work for you. 903-622-4122.
Jimmy Gonzalez converted the extra points. That means he's 3 out of 4 tonight. He did miss one. Missed the first one. Missed it to the right, but he's converted the last 3. Gonzalez with some deep kickoffs tonight. After saying that, watch, he'll have a short one here, but he's been kicking it well. And again, just a sophomore, one of the 8 sophomores playing on the varsity. Here's the kick, high kick, and good deep again. Back to the 8, coming up to the 10, the 15, 20, and he does not get to the 25-yard line. Tell you what, our special team's doing another good job there.
You know, that's
at 24.
If we've had a weakness, and I've said this earlier in the game before, if we've had a weakness, it's been the kickoff coverage. Remember, we had some kickoffs run back. Tatum went 2 at one time, and they didn't come very often, but we didn't run them back as near unless we had Gary Nutt back there.
All right, so center is at their 24 as they start this possession here. And they will come out with Carlton, their quarterback, Cody Carlton, number 15. Is the quarterback. Ball spotted about 5 yards left of the right hash, and they are forced to use a timeout. Player late coming on the field. Timeout for center, and we'll return to Rough Rider Stadium right after this break.
Have you shopped at Carthage Discount Tire and Brake lately? Now, one way to save on your gas mileage is with a good set of tires. And Carthage Discount Tire and Brake offers you great savings on Michelin and Bridgestone tires. Vacation time is here, and you need to protect your family as they travel. Brakes, 2- and 4-wheel drive alignment, air conditioning repair, and much more offered at Carthage Discount Tire and Brakes. They're located at 2003 West Panola at the Loop, or visit them at CarthageDiscountTire.com. Carthage Discount Tire and Brake. They care.
We're back at Center's Rough Rider Stadium. Center, you might recall, is in a 5-team district. You don't see too many of those. They made the playoffs last year. Actually, they were second in the district behind Kirbyville, which went undefeated. Kirbyville was 4-0. Center was 3-1. Diboll was the other playoff team. Jasper, a perennial power in that district, did not make the playoffs last year. Of course, Jasper coached this year by Garrett Morgan, who was the Bulldog defensive coordinator for the first 4 years.
How's he done?
2-2 so far.
2-2.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of like Surratt first 4 games.
That's right. All right, Carlton is in the gun. First down and 10. Carlton in the gun, snap back to him, hands off to the running back. This is Sudds coming to the right, and he's hit pretty hard. Gets across the 20 and has the 23 for a gain of 4.
Yeah, Ricky Ingram calls that. Somebody else made the tackle, what he called. But let me give you some scores, Larry. Ladewater 21, Arp 7. Tatum 35, Pittsburgh 6. Van 14, Spring Hill 0. Henderson 35, Liberty Islo 13. Wascom 54, Beckville 0.
Ooh.
And you know,
Ouch.
You know, the coach at Wascom is Bogey's uncle.
Second down and 6. Ball at the 28. Hand off to the wide receiver going to the left side. He's across the 30 and is stopped at about the 33. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards on the play.
Jackson on the tackle out there from his linebacker position. We've called his name quite a bit tonight.
All right, we'll call it a gain of 6 out to the 34. Gain of 6 to the 34-yard line. It's third down and less than a yard. About a foot to go. Third and about a foot. Snap back to Carlton. Hands off to running back this time. This is Garrett coming to the right and has a first down at the 40, at the 38. Gain of 4 more.
Tackle on the play there by Burns and Jackson. But not before he got enough. Jasper's tied with Silsby. It's 17 up right now. Dangerfield's ahead 20-12 over over Gilmer's ahead of Dangerfield, 20-12.
All right, first and 10 now for Center at their 38. Snap back to Carlton, hands off to Garrett. Garrett trying to come to the right. We force him back to the inside, picks up yardage across the 40, 45, midfield. Now push back as he gets into Bulldog territory. The ball came loose, and let's see if they call him down or is that a fumble.
It looks like I saw Pope trying to jerk it out of his hands. It is a fumble.
That is a fumble. They fall on it, but it winds up being no gain. He had about 11 yards on that carry out to midfield, and Pope jarred it loose, and it winds up, instead of being an 11-yard gain, a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, I saw him trying, and they were spinning around, and finally he jerked it out.
Back to the 38-yard line. So what it was, an 11-yard gain turns into a 1-yard loss because of that fumble that bounded back toward the center goal line. All right, here's a handoff to Garrett, this time trying to come to his right, trying to get outside, and he does get to the 45, to the midfield, and then pushed out of bounds at the midfield marker.
Well, he got that money back. He got that 11 yards you were talking about back that time.
Plus 1 more.
7:22 left, 27-0 Carthage.
Gain of 12 to midfield. Carthage up 27-0. Defense would love to preserve the shutout here, but Center picking up some yards on this drive. Here's a handoff to Sudds. Sudds up the middle to the 45 to the 44. Gain of 6 more on the play.
Of course, we got some backups in there now on the defensive line.
That is true.
He's letting them, everybody get hurt right here. Of course, our linebackers are still in there.
All right, snap back to the quarterback, hands off to Garrett. Garrett trying to go to the right, nothing doing this time. And he is pushed back. That's going to be a loss. Back to the 46, a loss of 2.
Brian Anderson on the tackle along with Jamarcus Robertson. They stuffed up the spot there.
So now it's third down and about 7 for Center at the Carthage 46. 6.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Carthage up 27-0. Snap back to Carlton in the gun. Going to go with a screen over the middle and almost picked off by one of our defensive linemen. That was Kalen Ware, almost coming up with the interception. Okay, Dustin, down to you.
Getting up some rushing yards. We do have a whole new set of 4 defensive linemen in the game, but we got our back 7, our secondary, and our linebackers still in there. We are missing Justin Williams tonight. He had a little injury last week, and he's not playing tonight. So Ricky Ingram's filling in for him at the outside linebacker spot, and also Chad Adams, one of our other defensive ends. He has a little injury too, and he's not playing tonight. So Greg Graves is filling in for him. So they've done a great job. Not forced 4 turnovers. You can't complain about that.
All right, here's a snap on the punt, and Parra gets up a high short kick. Get away from it. Bulldogs hits at the 21. And it goes pretty much straight up in the air after that second hop, and it's down at the 21-yard line. Carthage will have it there. 6:11 to play.
Well, I tell you what, the Adams young man come out to my plant farm, and I didn't know who he was. I knew his dad, and I said something about. He said something about playing football. I said, "You play for Carthage?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "What number are you?" He said, "I'm number 40." Adams? He said, "Yes, sir." That kid looks small out there, Larry, but that kid's not small. That kid is nice-looking specimen of a ball player.
Yeah, he's a defensive end. That's the one that Dustin mentioned is not playing tonight. So got a couple of weeks here now with the break coming up. Get Adams back. Get Justin Williams back. Rest Tevin Pipkin some. Here's the I formation behind Bogan. Shoots, hands off this. I think that's Callaway in there now. I believe it is. Sure, that is Callaway. Handoff goes to about the 20.